Hello, in this video I'm going to carry on looking at Bronson and Ines from Married at First Sight. So as I talked about in the last couple of videos about this, Married at First Sight is a show where people are matched by psychologists. There's a pause before I say that, and I'll talk about that in another video because I'll be looking at one of those psychologists who I think you weren't allowed to call him that by the end of the series because of the way he behaved. In the other videos in this series, I've looked at how Ines has treated Bronson and what might be going on for him. And in this video, I'm looking at what happens when they're given the choice, leave or stay. Do they want to stay together or leave each other and leave the show? So here's what happens.
I'm going into the commitment ceremony with full-blown depression. I want to leave the marriage. Like, I'm so emotionally, mentally drained from having this liability attached to me.
Using the word liability is ironic because that's how she behaves on the boat.
Get me off the boat. Yeah, I don't give a get me off the boat. Shut the up. When I say don't speak, shut the up. I'm stressed. Shut the up.
So she was being a liability then. So she seems to be projecting this onto Bronson. But I also think there's some truth in what she's saying. So I'll come back to that a bit later.
I feel like he sort of wants everything to be okay, like when it's not.
Is that true, Bronson?
I'm a firm believer that you should always be happy, yeah. You should always be in a good mood or, you know, life's...
Yeah, but
life's
this
awesome.
is not good, so why, like, are you so happy?
Oh, no, I'm miserable. Absolutely miserable.
So when he's feeling miserable, he's acting like he's okay about it. And I think that's how he's getting through it. He's convincing himself that it's okay. I think he's holding on to some hope. But for Ines, she hasn't been getting the reaction she wants to out of him. That's my impression. And I think that's why she finds it so frustrating that he acts like everything's fine.
Like, since the wedding was... Let me put it this way. Let's say first thing she said when she saw me walking in the aisle was, take that eyebrow ring.
Who the has an eyebrow ring?
Bronson.
Me.
Look at how happy she looks when she's finally getting reactions. She seems to be getting off on people's shock. This is what she thrives on. I think that this is narcissistic supply for Ines.
Why? Why are you here at the moment?
I wanted to fall in love. Yeah, I just wasn't expecting it to be with that. Yeah.
So she's called him that in a very contemptuous way. The other people on the show haven't seen how they are together. So this is the first time they're seeing it, and she's making it clear she has contempt for Bronson.
I mean, if anyone here, like, wants to give me their husband, give it to me. Like...
Now she's publicly humiliating him. She's asking for any other guy. She'd be happy with anyone else as long as it's not him. And you notice that the guy who is smiling here, this is Adam. This is someone she ends up having a fling with, an affair really, because they're both married. And he's happy, he's finding this entertaining, even though Bronson is being publicly humiliated. So this gives us some idea of the kind of guy he is.
When she's great, she's great. She's a lovely person. Really, really nice.
I get the impression he thinks that if he keeps praising her when she behaves well, that she's going to want to behave better for him.
When she turns around, she's like Jekyll and Hyde. Yeah, I never know what she's going to be.
Okay, cool. Like, what Bronson says to me, like, I really don't care. Yeah.
When we did the questionnaire thing, Ines was amazing that night, like really amazing. I loved her pieces that night.
Look at how pleased she is when he's saying she can be a monster.
Next morning, the Hulk come out.
And I think, again, that's because she's getting narcissistic supply from this reaction. This makes her feel powerful and in control, that he has a strong reaction, or at least is describing that she becomes this intimidating person.
Straight back to...
At this point, it becomes all about his language and about how he's chosen to describe her behaviour. I think her behaviour has been appalling, and that some pretty bad words would fit with that behaviour quite well. He's not using that word about her. If he was, then it could be seen as reactive abuse.
I'm not calling her I'm just saying she acts like a someone who's nice one minute and bad the other. It just throws my emotions out of work.
A tip from me to you, don't use language like that if you want any chance of a relationship with a woman.
Look at how happy she is when he's being told off.
My decision was easy to make. Leave.
Why is that, Ines?
I have no respect for Bronson. Why would I stay? Yeah.
Okay.
I think this makes sense. She wants to leave him because she doesn't respect him. Why would she stick around? But what Bronson does doesn't make the same sense.
Bronson, stay or leave.
Oh, she's gonna hate me. There are glimpses of her I did like, glimpses. So I prefer to stay and experiment just to double check, because if I leave now and
Double
find out,
check
maybe
my-
she...
Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
You're gonna stay.
So even after complaining to everyone about how she treats him and hearing her say in front of everyone that she wants anyone but him, after being publicly humiliated repeatedly on TV and in front of all the other people in the game as well, he wants to stay in this relationship. Why? Because of these glimpses of who she can be. I think he has hope that that's who she really is, and that every now and again she malfunctions and becomes someone else.
I hate myself right now because I have been a bit hard and mean to Bronson.
There is a side to Ines that's caring. She can have empathy, as we can see here.
When I found out Bronson has lost 3 of his family members all in a short period of time, it makes me feel sad. I think dealing with that and still being such like a happy, kind person that he is today, it really shows there is a lot more to Bronson, yeah.
Even though Ines does have a softer side to her and she does have empathy, that doesn't mean that she doesn't also have a really nasty side to her. Sometimes she can be cruel, she can intentionally humiliate someone, she can get off on them having an emotional reaction to her. All of these things are still happening, and there's a reason why. It's because that's what she wants. Every time she behaves badly towards Bronson, she's doing that because she's getting something from it. So it's not a mistake. She's not malfunctioning. She's doing it for a good reason, a reason that at least is good for her, you know, because it's genuinely making her feel better to behave like that. That's the kind of person she is, and that's the way she copes. Let's go back to what Ines said before about him being a liability.
Like I'm so emotionally, mentally drained from having this liability attached to me.
I think there's a lot of truth in this. I think he would be a weight for somebody to have to carry around because he's not accepting Ines's behaviour for what it is. He's not taking it at face value. He's seen a glimpse of different behaviour, and so he's not willing to accept that the other behaviour is real. It seems like he thinks that he can somehow manipulate her into being who she can be sometimes, and maybe that's by patiently sticking around, maybe it's by persuading her of how lovely she can be when she's nice, or by telling her off when she's not nice. But however you look at it, he needs something different from her. If he didn't need something different from her, he would just end the relationship, because he'd see that he's not getting something pleasant from her and he's not happy. But instead, he needs it so much that he's prepared to stick around and hope that those glimpses become more than just glimpses. So by doing this, he's showing that he's needy, that there are needs he has that he hasn't managed to meet himself, that he wants her to meet for him. And so he's showing that he's codependent. And this is a situation a lot of people find themselves in, where they think, okay, this person's going to change because I can see there's something really nice about them. So they can always be like that in theory. But in reality, that's you not accepting what's really going on and trying to change reality, trying to change a person, not listening to what they're telling you. So what Ines is telling Bronson, she's even said it in words, is that she doesn't respect him, and he's not prepared to listen to that. The only thing you can do to change the behaviour that's coming towards you is to set boundaries. And if people listen to those boundaries, then that's great. If they don't listen, then you can make the choice to not have anything to do with them anymore. You know, if they persistently don't listen to your boundaries. But that's all you can do. You can't change somebody, and you can't manipulate someone into wanting to change themselves for you, because there's a reason why they behave in the way they do. They're getting something from behaving like that. And what tends to happen with some of these real relationships in the real world, because obviously in this relationship they didn't meet in a natural way, they were already getting married when they met, but in a real relationship the abusive person might show the codependent person that they are going to meet their needs, you know, and it's all false. But when they love bomb them, when they make them feel really special and amazing, that's them suggesting that they're going to meet their needs. But it's never healthy, you know, and I think that's one of the big problems, that's one of the big attractions of somebody to an abusive relationship, is that they're looking outside of themselves for someone else to meet their needs and to make them feel special, because they don't feel that way on their own. And so that's why it's really important to look at what you believe about yourself and to work on that, and not to try to get that from outside of you. And, you know, obviously initially you might need help with that. So you might want to get some kind of professional help to, you know, so in that sense it is coming from outside of you initially. But in terms of relationships with other people, if you're looking to feel good about yourself through someone else, then it's never going to be a healthy relationship, because you need to be able to do that for yourself. And as long as you're expecting that you'll feel okay as long as someone else changes, then things are already not healthy, they're not balanced, the power dynamic is never going to be equal. In the next video, I'm going to have a look at the affair that Ines has and at how one of the psychologists behaves, because I think it's really bad. So if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, and I'll see you then. Maybe I should put you down somewhere, but you wanted to jump onto me, didn't you? Do you want to go down? Oh, you're rather keen to stay. I'm going for a walk. Go on then, hop down. You funny thing. You're eating something, cleaning your feet. Oh, well, you're getting higher and higher. What are you going to do at the top? I can't even film you now. Come on. How are you going to come down? There you go. Oh, you're a jumper. Doing press-ups. You're really going to improve those biceps, aren't you? Okay then, well, and good luck with the press-ups, and I'll see you later.